Now, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, each year we also induct one honorary member into Order of the Coif. And let me explain to you why we do so. William & Mary did not have an Order of Coif chapter until 1981. So all of our graduates before 1981 were not eligible to be members of Order of the Coif. So what we do each year is we induct one honorary member of the Order of the Coif. And in order to be this person, you must have been eligible for membership of Order of the Coif at the time that you graduated, had we had such a chapter. And number two, you have to have had a career of great distinction. And so each year, one of the special parts of this ceremony is to invite back one of our alumni from before 1981 to be inducted into Order of the Coif. And it's my great pleasure to announce that this year, the William & Mary Law School faculty members who make this selection have chosen as this year's member of Order of the Coif, James J. Thomas II from the class of 1976. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Jim Thomas, and then I'm going to invite, Jim's here, I'm going to invite him to come up and say a few words to the graduating students. Now, Jim Thomas came to William & Mary first as an undergraduate from Allentown, Pennsylvania. He'd come from a family with limited financial means, and so he knew as a young man that if he was going to college, it was going to be because he was going to be able to procure some academic scholarships and some athletic scholarships. Well, as it happened, he procured both and arrived at William & Mary in 1969. Now, Jim was a football player at William & Mary. He was a wrestler at William & Mary, but he suffered an injury that prohibited him from playing both of those sports. Jim's an active guy, and so he decided he'd learn a new sport. He learned karate, and in fact became a black belt in karate, and then eventually became a professional kickboxer. Was undefeated in Japan as a kickboxer. So Jim is an athlete, even though he got knocked out of his football and wrestling career. Now, after graduating from William & Mary undergraduate in 1973 with a degree in government, Jim came over to the law school. Now, to pay his way through law school, Jim had 3 jobs. This is a little unusual for a law student today, but Jim needed to do that to make his way through law school. So what did he do? Well, first of all, he taught martial arts to William & Mary law students, and then also to soldiers and sailors at nearby military bases. That was job number 1. Job number 2 is he ran an undergraduate dormitory for the students. And then job number 3, he served as a bouncer at a local drinking establishment. So Jim managed law school by balancing these 3 jobs with his studies. Well, how could he perform well in law school doing that? Well, as it turns out, while in law school, he's editor-in-chief of the Law Review. He graduates pretty much at the very top of his class. And at graduation, the faculty, as it does today, selects one graduate as the outstanding student who the faculty believe showed the greatest professional promise. And yes, you guessed it, in 1976, the faculty conferred that award on Jim Thomas. After graduation, Jim moved to Atlanta, and he joined a very high-powered, fairly new law firm, Long & Aldridge, where he made his mark as a litigator and as a business practitioner. And in fact, in time, he became the head of litigation at Long & Aldridge. Now, Long & Aldridge he was on the ground floor of that law firm, but it grew and became really one of the elite law firms in the country. And in fact, today, by virtue of mergers, it's the largest law firm in the world, now known as Denton's. For 39 years, Jim has practiced mostly at that law firm. For a while, he had a firm by himself, but that's largely been where Jim practiced. Now, what's interesting about Jim's practice, again, a lot of it has been a business law and a litigation practice, but he's had a special interest, not surprisingly, in sports law. Let me tell you a little bit about how Jim has pursued this continuing interest in sports and law over the courses of his professional career. He represented and managed the careers of 5 heavyweight boxing champions of the world. Most significantly, 4-time world champion Evander Holyfield, as well as Roy Jones, the legendary middleweight boxer. So Jim had this passion about boxing and had a chance to fulfill it through his clients. He's currently actually developing professional boxing leagues in Mexico, Nigeria, the Philippines, and Indonesia. Some of you know about arena football. Well, Jim was involved with arena football. He was president of the Georgia Force, which was Atlanta's team in the Professional Arena Football League. He also was the first commissioner of the Women's Senior Golf Tour when that was formed, and for many years has served as attorney and advisor to the Professional Karate Association. I'll tell you this on a personal note. I've gotten to know Jim a little bit. He is a man of tremendous drive and tremendous tenacity in the practice of law on behalf of his clients. He is highly ethical. He has served on the professional ethics committee at his law firm. And he's the kind of guy that if you're ever in a tough spot, it's 2 a.m. and you got somebody, you got one call to make, you call Jim Thomas. Jim, if you will come forward, and we would like to induct you into the Order of the Coif. Jim, we're 39 years late, but better late than never.
Thank you so much. Dean Douglas and members of the faculty, thank you so much for this honor. It means so much to me. I want to start by congratulating the newest graduates of the William & Mary Law School. I think one of the great privileges you have is the privilege that I have had throughout my career. Starting now, you have the great privilege to say with ultimate pride that you graduated not only from the country's first law school, but one of the very best law schools in this country. And I congratulate you for that. Now, as great an individual achievement as graduating from this great institution is, I think all of you would agree with me that none of us did it alone. If it were not for a superb faculty and administration, I would not have been prepared, and you would not now be prepared for a distinguished career. Because of the superb faculty and administration, I was prepared, and you now are. On a more personal note, some say that I've had a career of some distinction. If and to the extent that is true, I certainly didn't do that alone. I learned a lot of what I learned from other lawyers, and I was smart enough to listen. And I encourage you to do the same. But even more than that, nothing has been more important to any success that I have enjoyed than the unwavering support of the two people who are here with me today. My mother, Charlene Thomas, and my wife, Trish Thomas, sitting down here in front. I have one further observation looking back on my career. As Dean Douglas said, I was the chairman of the Ethics and Practice Standards Committee of my firm for many years, many years, and there's nothing I'm more proud of than that. I can tell you when I look back that you will inevitably, that one of the greatest things about this law school is its great emphasis on putting out citizen lawyers who put ethics ahead of personal gain. I can tell you that you will be challenged repeatedly to swap those around and put personal gain ahead of ethics. I urge you not to do so, because as I look back on my career, the thing that I'm most proud of now is that I can say, and I hope you can say when you're done with it all, that no matter what happened in my career, I did it the William & Mary Law School way. Thank you very much.